Facebook was down only for 6 hours, but it did cost billions with a political impact also. So was it just an external cyber attack, or an insider job, or a technical fault? Well, all these reasons have weak evidences, and these are mere speculations. Although some claim that it was a cyber attack by either Russia or China, but this possibility is also very weak. But there are very compelling evidences that depict that it was done by Trump and his group. As for what happened behind was done by Trump and his group as a matter of revenge for the companies standing with Biden against him in the elections, it was mentioned. During the Trump administration, some major American technology companies were attacked by Trump for promoting fake news, and many welcomed the Democrats' victory in 2020. Silicon Valley technology companies were the biggest funders of Democratic President Biden's election campaign against former Republican President Trump, who was backed by the energy sector, especially oil companies in America, may suggest the political dimensions of this major imbalance that afflicted Facebook. There was a huge problem between the government and technology companies when Trump launched a trade war with China. Apple has been hit by the administration's tariffs on some of its consumer electronic products, which are sourced, assembled, and imported from China. Apple chief Tim Cook has been forced to communicate with the White House, and even participate in several of the administration's task forces, as a way to monitor the damage Trump's trade policies can do to Apple. As for the ex-employee Haugen's statements, she supports the Republican Party. To understand her reality, we mention the following observations. After she left her job in Facebook, she began to focus her anger and criticism of the founder of the company, Mark Zuckerberg. Which means that she rose to a difficult height, and this indicates that someone was behind her. Then she sent those leaked documents to the Wall Street Journal. Before she left the company, Facebook, in May, Frances Haugen took internal company documents with her and sent them mainly to the Wall Street Journal. In an article published in mid-September, the daily newspaper revealed that based on this information, the company had been researching its Instagram network over 3 years to determine the effects it had on teenager users. This newspaper is conservative and pro-Republican, as stated in Al Jazeera, October 28, 2007. The Wall Street Journal is not only an economic newspaper, but also has political positions. This newspaper has a conservative orientation, it is very supportive of Israel, as it appears on her opinion page, and she supports the Republican Party and has a relationship with the neoconservatives. Al Jazeera, October 28, 2007. As also stated in Wikipedia, German section, the Wall Street Journal is conservative and leaning towards the Republicans. What also indicates the possible relationship of this issue to the Republican Party is that this employee was the director of the Civic Integrity Program at Facebook, a program aimed at curbing disinformation and other threats to election security. It is known that the 2020 presidential election was very tumultuous and there was great tension between the two parties. And it seems that the Republican Party and the Trump group were in contact with this employee while she was on duty to expose Facebook's hostility to the Republicans. This official, Frances Haugen, said before the Senate on May 10, 2021. The company is pushing for more profits while not showing interest in the safety of users. She announced during the congressional hearing. Facebook withholds information and also misleads when inquiring about it. And that Mark Zuckerberg, the owner of Facebook, has unilateral control and is responsible for designing the algorithms. 70% of Facebook employees feel that the company is unfair, and that Facebook cannot fix the flaw in dealing with children without interference from Congress. The summary of all of this suggests that Trump and his group were behind that hack, sabotage, in the Facebook company and its affiliates, as well as behind the focus on the evils of Facebook, especially the contents of its programs that harm children, adolescents and girls, which caused Facebook, especially its CEO, Zuckerberg, in great embarrassment. This has created a quasi-public opinion against Facebook and its pro-democratic president as long as the matter is related to harming children, adolescents and girls. And it may also create embarrassment for Biden if he remains silent about taking measures against the company and its president. But it is not expected that the measures will be in depth, but rather as a method